Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from. J-Ro here, host Big Hair Hits, every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. AlleghenyMountainRadio.org. New series for the Nerd Room on our Commodore 64 personal computer. It's taken me over a year or so to get the correct parts and whatnot to function correctly to get this machine to work, but I'd say about 20 minutes ago I finally got it to work. I'm very excited. I want to share it with you guys. The history behind this machine with me and my personal life is I got one around 1982, around there, and I even had it during high school, which I started high school in 86. So, and I used to do homework on it. I had a printer, nice loud, slow printer, had some SAT prep software for it and all that. But of course, with computers, it's all about the games, and this computer sold over 1 million units as far as I know. That it is the best-selling personal computer that's ever been created, the Commodore 64 computer. So what I'm going to do in this part 1 video is to show you, if you're interested in getting one, what you're going to need to actually get it. If you want one off eBay, they are cheap. All I see on there is as is. It powers up. All right, fine, it powers up. But if they don't hook that thing up to a TV and make sure it works, then you might be out of luck. Plus, the shipping on these is kind of ridiculous. You might pay $10 for a functioning computer, but then pay 40 or 50 bucks to get it to your house for shipping. So you're probably better off just trying to go to a mom and pop shop or a garage sale, hook it up to a TV, and make sure it works. So here we go. This is the computer itself. On the back, you got your, it's just plug and play. Boom. You got this guy. This goes to the tape drive. I'll show you what that is. The disk drive. And then the cable that goes right to the TV. We got some extra things here. There's a cartridge slot. I don't have any cartridge games yet, but I got discs and tapes, and I'll show you what those are. I recommend, if you get one of these things, you can't see it here, but I taped an index card over this opening because there isn't a lid, so dust can get in there. So I just cover that up with an index card. Very good. You are going to need a screen to project this on, and we got a little tiny wood grain CRT TV that a college kid in the 80s and 90s would typically have in their room. It's tiny, but that's fine. It works for what I'm trying to do, which is just play games and program on it. Okay. Now you need software to load and to save. So there's a couple ways to do it. Again, we mentioned cartridges that go in the back, and that's no load times, of course. Just turn it on and you play, but you can't save to the cartridge, right? So how do you save stuff? Well, minimum, you're going to need one of these. This is a tape drive, right? And what you do is go to grandma's house in her basement and look for any audio cassettes. Even if they're, let's say, already recorded on, like Garth Brooks or whatever, you can just put tape over little notches, and you can put games and programs on these tapes. I got these brand new at Goodwill about 6 months ago, these tapes, if you can believe it. And, the tape drive is very slow. That's very common. And it's kind of hard to keep track. Let's say, see, I'm at 159. Let's say Frogger is at, 87. So we got to rewind it till it gets to 87 and then play. And, you got to write that down on a piece of paper unless you want to memorize all that. So that's kind of a pain. What's better are disk drives. I got 2 of them. And I just fixed them a little while ago. That's what was keeping this thing from working. So, beautiful. I'm glad they're working now. And they take floppy disks. Actual, look, they move. See that? They are floppy. The Last Ninja. That's an awesome game. And we'll demo that here in a moment. But disk drives, again, they're slow. Faster than the tape drive. But they can hold a lot more memory, obviously, than the tape. And, a lot of discs, not this one in particular, but they're double-sided, so you can use the other side on those if you so desire. And you're going to need a controller to play some games. Now, most games you can play using the keyboard. There's a lot of games that's controller only. So what you can do is a regular old Atari joystick. This is a newer version. This came from one of those Atari flashback things you get at like Dollar General, Walmart for like $40. It comes with 2 controllers in the system. It does work with the Commodore, but you can also use Sega Genesis controllers and that kind of stuff. And it takes a certain pin. I'll just show you. If you're ever at a flea market and you want to find one, here's an old joystick. This is like the exact model I used to use with the thing. You know how dirty it is. But you want it to look like that. Okay? Boom. So Sega Genesis looks like that. Sega Master System looks like that. And Atari 2600 and Atari 7800. Now I'm sure there's a few of them missing, but oh well. There you go. So again, you need the computer. You need something to load and save. You need something to watch it on, an image. And you need a controller. Other than that, you are good to go. Now, there are some extras in case, you're interested. The manuals, those are kind of important to have. Back in the 80s, you needed some literature to figure out how to do stuff. This isn't something, it is not a Windows-based machine, and I'll demonstrate that momentarily. But now that I'm older and I've played a billion video games, I actually like going through the manuals and getting to the guts of the machine to figure out what, makes the graphics work, what makes the sound work, and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you can get these on a PDF file on the internet, so you don't need the original manuals if you don't need them or want them. Okay. And, floppy disks. You need your floppy disk holder. Check that out. Ooh, again, another Goodwill purchase. And these are, your floppy disks. You try to keep them in the sleeves if you got them. Very important. Kind of like putting your record albums back in the sleeves. Well, the same deal. So you got Dragon's Lair. And, again, you can fit a lot of games on one thing where you can copy these. They're very easy to copy. You need a program to do it, but it's very easy. What do we got on there? Tapper, Pit Stop 2, Gateway to Abshai, excellent games. Prowler, and we'll do some separate reviews on these games. Spy Hunter, Ghostbusters, la-di-da-di-da. Fine. And then, I got some extra tapes in case I fill up a tape with programs. When I program, I like to use tapes because I'm going to use the discs to, copy other games. So, no big whoop. And if you're also interested, for your discs, you have labels to label your discs, right? A felt tip pen to write on it. You don't want to use ballpoint pen. You want to use felt, right? Because you don't want to put a dent in that disc. And also, you got your notch hole covers. Boop, these little cover things. Because as you can see, when there's a notch on there, you can write on the disc. When you put a sticker over it, such as this, see that sticker right there? Then, no, I take that back. Wait. It's the other way around, I think. With a sticker on it, you can't save, I think. And then when the notch is there, I don't know, it's the other way around. And if you have a disc that does not have a notch on the side, see that one right there? Get your trusty hole puncher, pop the side, and you can use the other side of the disc to save games and whatnot. So there you go. One last thing is you might want to get some program manuals. Again, this was a PDF file. I just kind of got off the internet. No big whoop. And what you do is you just type in the program. This one's only 9 lines long. And just guess the number. And when you hit run, this is what it looked like on the screen. Guess the number, too high, 1. You just type it in numbers, and eventually you'll get it right or wrong. It's a very small program. Most of these programs are pages and pages and pages long. If you want to get a real game with graphics going and all that, yeah, you're going to be typing a lot. But if you got a tape or a disc, you can save it. All right, part 2, we'll talk about some of the sound and graphics of the beautiful Commodore 64. Big Hair Hits, your host Jay Rowe, every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m., Allegheny mountainradio.org. Same bad time, same bad channel.